arrest.
Josef Fritzl doesn't want the world to see his face. What he did for 24 years in the cellar of the family home is all too well known. It was a bizarre spectacle as he was led into the dock. The people are asking if there's an explanation for why you did it, says the reporter. Fritzl remains silent. This is the first attempt at understanding how a man could keep his daughter locked up underground and father 7 children with her. The court's hearing Elizabeth Fritzl's story through videoed interviews. 11 hours of tape deemed so harrowing, the jury will watch it in small chunks.
In the case of Josef Fritzl, the prosecutor of Amstetten accuses him of committing the following crimes: murder, enslavement, false imprisonment, coercion, rape and incest.
Hey guys, welcome back to my channel here. It's Lavender here, and today I am doing the true crime case of Josef Fritzl's story. So if you guys like this video, don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe. Let's get started into this true crime story. So today I am again doing the true crime case of Josef Fritzl. So yeah, this case has been in a number of media and TV. This case was featured in the 2008 documentary, The Longest Night, Secrets of the Austrian Cellar, about this case, and it was also featured in the 2010 documentary Monster, the Josef Fritzl story. It also was featured in a 2009 book, The Crimes of Josef Fritzl, Uncovering the Truth by Stephanie Marsh, and it was also it was inspired by a Lifetime movie in 2021. Lifetime released a film and a movie inspired by the Fritzl case called The Girl in the Basement. So here's a little background on the evil man we're going to be talking about, Josef Fritzl. So Josef Fritzl was born on April 9th, 1935 in Amsterdam, Austria, to Josef Fritzl Sr. and Maria Fritzl. He grew up as an only child raised solely by his working mother. His father had deserted the family when Fritzl was only 4, and he never saw him again or came into contact with him after that. And he grew up claiming that his mom was like abusive and not like loving it to him at all. And he like tried to justify his actions like about his daughter because his like mom was like abusive or something. And in 1956, at age 21, he married 17-year-old Rosemary, with whom he had 3 sons and 4 daughters with, including Elizabeth, who was born on April 6, 1966. Fritzl reportedly began abusing Elizabeth in 1977 when she was only 11 years old. He began sexually abusing her. And in 1967, Fritzl broke into the Liz home of a 24-year-old nurse while her husband was away at work and raped her while holding a knife to her throat, threatening to kill her if she screamed. According to the annual report for 1967 and a press release of the same year, he was also named as a suspect in a similar case of attempted rape of a 21-year-old woman and was known for indecent exposure. Fritzl was arrested and served 12 months of an 18-month prison sentence. Now onto this story about this horrific, terrible case. So on August 28, 1984, after Elizabeth turned 18, Fritzl lured her into the basement of the family home, saying he needed help carrying a door to the basement. This was the last piece needed to seal what would become and turn out to be a sex slave chamber, torture chamber, where Elizabeth was held captive for years and years. After Elizabeth held the door in place while Fritzl fitted it into the frame, he held an ether-soaked towel to his daughter's face until she was unconscious, and he locked her in the basement forever. After Elizabeth's disappearance, Rosemary, his wife, filed a missing persons report. Almost a month later, Fritzl handed over a letter to the police that he wrote himself, the first of several letters that he had forced Elizabeth to write while in captivity. Fritzl told the police that she had most likely joined a religious cult, even though people who are in cults don't say they're in cults. Over the next 24 years, Fritzl visited Elizabeth in the hidden chamber almost every day, or a minimum of 3 times a week, bringing her food and other supplies that she would need. He repeatedly raped her in this chamber, and she became his sex slave. Elizabeth gave birth to 7 children during her captivity. 1 child died shortly after birth. His name was Michael. He died shortly after birth in the cellar in 1996, he had severe breathing difficulties and expired in his mother's arms, Elizabeth's arms, when he was just 66 hours old. Fritzl admitted he burned the baby boy's body in an incinerator. The births all took place without any medical help. Elizabeth's father, Fritzl, provided her with disinfectant, scissors, and an outdated 1960s book on childbirth. That was the only help she got. And the three, Lisa, Monica, and Alexander, were removed from the cellar as infants to live with Fritzl and his wife, who were approved by local social services authorities as their foster parents. Officials said that Fritzl very plausibly explained how three of his infant grandchildren had appeared on his doorstep. The family received regular visits from social workers who saw and heard nothing to arouse their suspicions. Summer, when the basement turned into a horrible, sweaty, hot sauna, he continued sexually abusing her and raped Elizabeth sometimes several times a day. He would later go on to rape her at least 3,000 times within the whole time she was in captivity. Following the fourth child's birth in 1994, Fritzl allowed the enlargement of the prison. The captives have a television that he provided, a radio he provided, and video cassette player. Elizabeth taught the children how to read and write, and Fritzl did not. At times, Fritzl shut off the lights or refused to deliver food for days at a time to punish them. Fritzl told Elizabeth and the three children who remained, Kristen, Stephanie, and Felix, were told they would be gassed to death if they tried to escape. Investigators conclude this was just a gaslighting, empty threat attempt to frighten the victims. There was no gas supply to the basement at all. According to Fritzl's sister-in-law, Christine, he went to the basement every morning at 9 a.m. He stayed there for the night and did not allow his wife to bring him anything to drink or any coffee or whatever, no condiments or anything. A tenant who rented the ground floor room in the house for 12 years claimed he heard noises from the basement, but Fritzl just explained them away, saying that they were from faulty pipelines or from the gas heating system of the house. On April 19, 2008, Fritzl agreed to seek medical attention after Kristen, the eldest daughter of Elizabeth, fell unconscious. Elizabeth helped him carry Kristen out of the chamber and saw the outside world for the first time in 24 years. Fritzl forced her to return to the chamber, where she remained for a final week after that. Kristen was taken to the ambulance to a local hospital and was admitted in serious condition with life-threatening kidney failure. Medical staff found aspects of Fritzl's whole story puzzling and alerted the police to their suspicions. Elizabeth pleaded with Fritzl to be taken to the hospital. On April 26, he released her from the cellar along with her sons, Stephanie and Felix, bringing them upstairs. He and Elizabeth went to the hospital where Kristen was being treated on April 26, 2008. Following a tip-off from Ritter that Joseph and Elizabeth were at the hospital, the police detained them at the hospital ground and took them to a police station for questioning. Rosemary had been unaware of what had been happening to Elizabeth, although I don't know if this is even true, honestly. On April 29th, it was announced that DNA evidence was confirmed Fritzl to be the biological father of all of Elizabeth's daughters, sons, and children. Elizabeth did not provide police with more details until they promised her that she would never have to see her father again. After that, over the next 2 hours, she told them a story of her 24 years in horror of captivity. Elizabeth told police that Fritzl raped her many times a day and forced her to watch pornography, films, and videos, which he made her reenact with him in front of her children in order to humiliate her and to control her. Fritzl, at age 73 at the time, was arrested. After his arrest, Fritzl claimed that his behavior towards his daughter did not constitute rape, but was consensual. He made excuses saying that she kept running away, so he had to do this. He explained that he brought her flowers for Elizabeth and books and toys for the children into the bunker, or the basement as he called it, and often watched videos with the children and ate meals with Elizabeth and the children. Fritzl decided to imprison Elizabeth after she did not adhere to any rules anymore. When she became a teenager, that is why I had to do something. I had to create a place where I could keep Elizabeth from running away by force if necessary, away from the outside world. He suggested that the emphasis on discipline in the Nazi era was his inspiration. And on March 19, 2009, Fritzl was sentenced to life imprisonment without the possibility of parole for over 15 years. And on June 2013, on on June 28, workers began filling the basement of the Fritzl home with concrete. So if you guys like this video, don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe. Bye guys, see you next video.